if you're a first responder, it doesn't matter whether you're a firefighter or in law enforcement, you've seen trauma. If in this day and age, even a civilian's going through trauma, losing their jobs, being kept away from family and friends because of COVID. We're all going through trauma. You gotta have an outlet. You definitely have to have an outlet. And for us in law enforcement, when I first started, it seemed like, and maybe it's just our group that I came on with. It seemed like, I'm not gonna lie, going out and partying was the outlet. Almost, hey, let's go have dinner and get drunk and kind of forget about everything we've seen this week. And like I said, I started late and, at 32, but I came on with a bunch of guys that were 21 to 25. And so it was really easy for them to go into party mode on our Friday. And I think that lasted maybe a year or two. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, that isn't the right way to handle it. Let's get creative. Let's get back into what we did before we were law enforcement. For me, I love hot rods and motorcycles. And so I dove back into that. A lot of the guys I came on with were into music. They dove into that. Physical fitness guys were into, they dove into that. And now what I see is so many agencies talk about stuff like this internally, that you have to do something. A lot of programs have opened up for us to talk to people internally, a lot of peer support. And what I'm seeing now is this is helping to keep guys to remember this is just a means of a paycheck. It's a job. Don't lose yourself. Don't let this become you.
So right now you've gone into the pool of mental health, right?
Yes.
And it's an extremely important topic because far too many people, when you're talking about law enforcement and mental health, they tend to focus on law enforcement responding to mental health calls instead of what we're all dealing with now in the new millennium is the mental health of each other, the mental well-being of officers, the mental well-being of people in the community. And that's why I said what I said earlier, that a lot of people are not treating their trauma, right? They're not dealing constructively and positively with the things that they have experienced in life, and it's negatively affecting their mental well-being. So I'm glad that you brought that up. It's a topic that we frequently discuss here at Game Changer, and I'm open to discussing it more because we hear very often from members of law enforcement that alcohol is a way to quote unquote blow off steam. It's not just that. It's not just that. And I want to thank you for being transparent about that. Go ahead. You're still unmuted, Ray. Go ahead.
So just a personal experience. So when I started the job, I was married. At the time, my wife and I had 2 kids. And like I said, going through, not knowing what to do with that outlet, kind of sucking everything in, my personal story was I became not so happy and cheery at home. Not that I was abusive or anything. I just kind of kept to myself, because what you see as a first responder stuff is no human being should see. And you can't go home and talk to your significant other about it, because you don't want that in their mind. You don't ever want them to have to see that. And, you pull a baby that drowned from a pool, you jump in and pull them out. When you go home and see your kid, you like it, you just lose it. So throughout the years, my marriage ended up going bad. And what really made me start thinking about my mental health was, as a last resort, we tried marriage counseling. Just so in case, hopefully it would work out. But if it didn't, at least we could explain to the kids, hey, we've tried everything. And unfortunately, the marriage still dissolved, but we are great friends now. And through the marriage counseling, I learned that I'm not perfect. I know it's shocking, but I'm not. And I got the help I needed to vent and get this stuff out. And not only am I very good friends with my ex-wife, my relationship with my now adult kids is incredible. And if I didn't take that step in marriage counseling and then realize, oh, wow, there's a lot that I'm holding on to, I need to speak to somebody so that I can better do my job. Not only better do my job for the citizens that I work for, but a better person for my family. So that's something we all got to look at and say, at some point, we all need help to digest what we're going through.